Welcome to the Business of Apps podcast. Today we're talking about mobile A/B testing and about the moment the App Store hands you a winner. Because the result is directional, not the truth. And if most of your traffic is paid, you may have measured the wrong users entirely. In this episode, we speak with Scott Masters, Director of Strategy and Partnerships at Gummicube, about why mobile A/B testing is never set and forget. Scott explains why most developers and marketers underinvest in testing, what a sensible cadence looks like, once or twice a month, with each test running at least 2 weeks to reach statistical significance, and why changing one element at a time is the only way to know what actually moved the needle. If you work in App Store optimization, user acquisition, or app growth, this is a practical guide to testing your product page properly. Without any further ado, let's get started.
Hi, I'm David Murphy at Business of Apps, and I'm speaking today with Scott Masters, who is Director, Strategy and Partnership at Gummicube. Scott, good day to you, sir. How are you?
Hi, David. Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Scott. So could we start with a quick intro to Gummicube, please?
Yeah, sure thing. As you mentioned, my name is Scott Masters. I've been with Gummicube about almost 5 years now. Gummicube has been around for about 16 years. We are the leading mobile marketing company focusing on App Store optimization for developers around the world.
Good stuff. And we're going to talk today about mobile A/B testing. Before we get into it, could we just start with a bit of a definition of that? What exactly do you mean by it? What are you testing, and why does it matter?
Sure, absolutely. Today's mobile market, mobile App Store markets, developers and marketers typically are not putting enough emphasis on A/B testing. And what that is essentially is maintaining the presence in the app stores. Doesn't really leverage the app and the visibility of the app. So frequent testing is required to kind of keep that leading edge of what's going to work for your market and your audience, and surpass your competitors in the app space, right? So what does that mean exactly, right? So A/B testing trickles down into everything from increasing keyword rankings to per channel conversion rates, and ultimately lowering overall cost per acquisition costs. So if you're not A/B testing at least once or twice a month, you're leaving users on the out there for other competitors to take from you.
Well, I was going to ask my next question whether this is like a once and done thing, but it's clearly not from what you just said.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not a one and done. You can't set it and forget it. It's just like kind of with any other brand. You create a package for your product and you put it on the shelf. If it doesn't change over time, if you're not attracting those users with new materials or new approaches, it's going to get stale. So A/B testing is a continuous process where trends change, user preferences change, features of your app may change. So you want to make sure that you're testing and identifying what those user preferences are. And it's always going to be a constant thing. Again, testing once or twice a month. Depending on the traffic volumes you're getting to your product page, will determine how long those A/B tests may run. Some tests may take longer to get that statistical significance that you're looking for, to really identify what's working and what's not. We'd love to be able to test at least 2 weeks to get that data back to really make concrete data-driven decisions. And you're not always going to get a winner, right? So you may be testing something that doesn't quite meet what the consumers are looking for, but that learning is still valuable because then you know what not to do with your product page or what not to do with your screenshots, for example. So we learn from every test we run. We iterate on those learnings and test again with something else.
Sounds good. And what are your best practice tips to get this right, Scott?
Sure. So there are several A/B testing best practices that we try to implement with every test. First and foremost, trying to make sure the objectives of the test is clear. Incremental testing one element at a time will give us the cleanest signals and the cleanest results for each test. Introducing too many variables can convolute the results. You don't know exactly if you changed the copy on a screenshot or the imagery. which one really worked. So you want to make sure you're testing individual items at a time. It shouldn't just be limited to the one asset, though. We also like to be able to test everything on your product page. So every visual asset, whether that's metadata, the title, subtitle, short descriptions for Google Play, full descriptions across the board, as well as all the visual assets, icons, feature graphics, screenshots, all of those play a part into your A/B test strategy. You want to make sure that you have clear goals in mind when you're putting these tests together, making sure that we're testing, again, consistently every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the data that comes back. And then also being mindful of those channels that you're testing in. Don't just test for a few days. You need, again, at least a week or two's worth of data to really determine the trend of the performance. So we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on those. And then looking at all the different traffic funnels, organic, paid, everything in between, are exposed to that test environment. So you want to make sure that, if your traffic is mostly paid, your results will be more reflective of those paid trends versus an organic trend just based on search results and search conversion. So we really want to keep all of those factors in mind when we're running these tests.
Good stuff. And what about measurement? How do you measure the effectiveness of A/B testing?
Yeah, it can be measuring and identifying performance can be a challenge at times. If the platforms don't necessarily show a clear winner, you really want to look at the data that you're getting back, the user preferences, and kind of those conversion rates across all channels. They'll give you the platforms will give you an estimated conversion impact and confidence interval for each of the tests that you run. But however, that data is directional, right? So you want to make sure that you're looking at all of the different factors. True validation of performance really will come from launching a test winner into the store and then really measuring the pre-deployment conversion rate versus the post-deployment conversion rate and identifying how that has impacted your conversions, across all the different channels, whether that be organic or paid, all the different referral channels that are available. So you want to look at total traffic by channel. What resonates with one channel may not resonate with another, or one platform versus another. iOS users may be very different and react to a specific product page versus the same app on Google Play. We've seen that across the board too.
Good stuff. And apologies for jumping in there. I thought you finished that answer and you hadn't. We've covered quite a lot of ground there in just a few minutes. I just wondered if you want to give somebody, 1, 2, 3 quick takeaways from this. If this is a subject that they haven't considered before, what are the first things they should think about to get started?
Well, the first thing they should think about is looking at Gummicube as your App Store optimization agency source. We have all the tools available. We have all the resources available to help developers optimize their App Store presence, A/B test, creative design, as well as marketing and growth specialists on board to help you. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you're not testing, you should be, no matter what it is, no matter how small it is, test your App Store product page consistently, making sure that you're really understanding the data. If you need help with that, again, contact us. We're more than happy to help you. And then the third thing, again, is measure those performance results across all channels. You can't look at one channel versus another and expect them to convert the same.
Excellent. Scott, thank you very much indeed for that. It's been great talking to you.
Appreciate it, David. Thank you for having me.
Good stuff. So that's a wrap for this chat with Scott Masters from Gummicube about mobile A/B testing. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.
And that was the episode 272. Why your App Store A/B tests are misleading you. Featuring the App Talk interview with Scott Masters, Director of Strategy and Partnerships at Gummicube. To listen to more episodes, by now we have more than 250 to check out. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube podcasts. Just search for Business of Apps and you will find us easily. Remember, we release episodes on Mondays, so subscribe and you will be able to get new episodes on your smartphone, tablet, or computer as soon as we release them. And please don't forget to leave us a review or comment on iTunes. It is highly appreciated. And all episodes will also be available on businessofapps.com. Thank you for listening. See you next week.